You know, you might have thought the pandemic would have put the brakes on road construction, but actually quite the opposite is true. There are so many highway and surface road projects underway right now. We thought we'd sit down with the Director of Public Works for two reasons, really, to give you an idea of areas you might want to steer clear of, and also to let you know why when all the dust settles, it really will be worth it. I know. It seems everywhere you turn, there are orange cones, construction equipment, and men and women in hard hats tearing up and rebuilding roads and highways. But look at it this way. These are the sights and sounds of jobs and improvements that even COVID-19 couldn't stop.
Everyone thought that maybe with the COVID impacts to our community that road construction would have slowed down, but it was anything but. We actually had so many projects in the queue before COVID hit us that it was just timing that all of our projects were going under construction almost during the beginning of COVID and right through it.
As the man in charge of infrastructure in the city of Las Vegas, Mike Jansen knows the progress of every project underway, and he says right now downtown is one of the hot spots for improvements. He went over several of the big ones with us so we could see where they stand and what we can look forward to, starting with one that's hard to miss. The $125 million improvements to Las Vegas Boulevard between Sahara and St. Louis includes updating old sewer and water lines, widening the sidewalks, safety improvements, and overall beautification.
When you think about some of the civil unrest that occurred with some protests and the COVID impacts, all the things that were going on, supplier challenges to try to get concrete materials, there were some delays, but we're literally on schedule. I spoke with our project manager today, and she said we are right at 33% complete, and it's a 3-year project, so we got 2 more years to go, but the contractor's making great progress.
This section of Las Vegas Boulevard should be completed by the end of the year. Construction will continue up the boulevard to Stewart, wrapping up in April of 2023. Another big project is a partnership between the city and UNLV School of Medicine. Ground was broken on the school in October of 2020. The school is projected to be move-in ready by October of 2022. And it's the city's job to make sure everything around it is safe and beautiful.
They're working on site to bring that beautiful building out of the ground and make it ready for all the new students. We're taking care of the street side, and so we're right on target with work on Shadow Lane and Pinto Lane, which surrounds the new medical school.
And speaking of the surrounding area, $80 million will go into major improvements in the entire medical district, starting with Shadow Lane, then on to Pinto, then expanding to Charleston from Martin Luther King Boulevard to Rancho, then Rancho from the 95 to Sahara.
But what all those projects are going to do, Nance, that $80 million investment is, it's going to create a unified campus infrastructure that's going to be comfortable for walking, comfortable for biking, good for driving. There'll be capacity improvements like bus turnouts, right turn lanes. There'll be mature shade trees. And one of the things we heard the most from all the business owners, all the students was, we want really good lighting.
From the medical district to the arts district, this is another area that has already seen incredible improvements. The Main Street Improvement Project made this a place where locals and tourists wanted to live, play, and work. That's why so many restaurants, bars, and unique shops want to be here and continue to build and open, even during the pandemic. Now, more improvements are on the way.
About a $40 million investment that we're doing in the Arts District. One project's going to start in June on a street called Boulder Avenue. Shortly after that in July, we're going to start a project on California where there's a whole host of restaurants that can't wait to see the nice shaded streets and the improved sidewalk zones. And then after those are done, we're going to work on Casino Center, Colorado, and Wyoming. So that whole area is being transformed while we speak.
A sure sign the Arts District is thriving. Jansen says not enough parking to accommodate the crowds. Something he says will be remedied. As a short-term relief, many parallel parking spots are being replaced with angled parking, doubling the spots. A parking garage is on the horizon. We saw the incredible installation of the Welcome to Downtown arches over Las Vegas Boulevard recently. Well, next, a pedestrian bridge that will be almost as spectacular, offering efficiency, safety, and beauty.
Instead of 4 separate pedestrian bridges, the standard to the south, we're doing one bridge, a circular bridge, that when you go up on top of that bridge, if your destination is whatever corner, you'll be able to get there so much shorter than you would if you had the other style. When it's all said and done, I think it's going to be a work of art in and of itself. And what's really cool about it, that rendering that I sent you, you can see how popular it might be for people to get selfie photos of the arch, because at the top of that bridge, you have a straight shot to the arch.
So the next time you're traveling around downtown Las Vegas and feel inconvenienced by yet another road construction project, just remember it wasn't too long ago when buildings stopped and construction equipment sat idle during the recession. So maybe this dust isn't so bad after all. A big thank you to Mike Jansen for always making himself available to keep us up to date on the projects around the city.